NBA 2K is one of the most dynamic sports franchises in gaming history, no doubt about that. Debuting to consoles back in 1999 to the Dreamcast, we already knew something special was awaited for their special sports franchise. Even though the series has had its ups and its downs, oh yeah, that's the center by the way, you can't say that you haven't had any type of fun playing NBA 2K. Whether it's 2K1, 5, 15, 16, 18, or 19. If you played any of these 2Ks, you had at least some type of fun. If not, then you just have no soul. I'm kidding. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about the best MyPlayer builds and archetypes from every single 2K. Now, MyPlayer debuted back in 2K10, and I believe they had the crew mode, but we're not going to be talking about 2K10 and 11 and 12. We're going to start off with 2K13 because that was the first game the NBA 2K community took 2K seriously with their MyPlayers. And no, this list does not include any 99 overall glitch players or demigods of any kind, man. Now for 2K13, the best archetype was an athletic point guard. It didn't matter if you made them 6'7" or 5'7". These guys are overpowered and there was nothing you could do to stop them. They get like a 99 in almost every single category. And remember back then, you could put on shoes and arm sleeves and can boost your attributes even higher. Now I couldn't find any gameplay of this on YouTube, but believe me, if you play 2K13, you know what I'm talking about. Which brings us to the next game, NBA 2K14. Now, for the second year in a row, you guessed it, athletic point guards was the wave, man. Once again, it didn't matter what height you made them. If you wanted to make them 5'7" or 6'7", it didn't matter. These guys on this console, well, PS4 and Xbox One to be exact, they were overpowered. You could not stop them. They could do whatever they want. They can guard the 1 through the 4 with no problem. The 5, not really, because of like rebounds and all that. But other than that, they can shoot threes. They can dunk on people. It didn't matter. Like, athletic point guards was just on a whole nother level of insanity. Like, it was crazy. If you played NBA 2K14, you once again knew what I was talking about. It is now on October 7th, 2014. The game as we know it was changing. A lot of players on and off the game were starting to shoot a lot more threes. And you could tell the game was changing, and you know that NBA 2K was going to change as well. Big men were starting to be more versatile and dribbling the ball and shooting threes, and you know the game just had to change. This is also the first and only year that 2K gave us the most creative freedom ever by allowing us to make 7-foot small forwards, which was the best archetype in this game. And y'all know it, there was nothing better than a 7-foot small forward. And demigods, once again, are not on this list. Now, I believe the first person I have ever seen with a 7-foot small forward is fellow clan member Nuke 480, also known as Dribble Gods. And with that being said, you can basically make you, just like the cover athlete, a Kevin Durant or a Giannis that can shoot threes. All you had to do was raise everything but your rebounding. And that was just too overpowered, in my opinion, but the game was fun. Like, in terms of archetypes, this was basically a build your own archetype system, which possibly might be for 2K19. But basically, you can have a 95. Think about this. If you never played 2K15, imagine having a 7-foot small forward, about 250 pounds, with a 95 3, speed, defense, layup, dunk, and ball control. And imagine playing with that on 2K19. That's how overpowered this build was. You couldn't stop this build unless you was a 7-foot small forward yourself. This build was overpowered and will forever be one of the most overpowered, if not the best, archetypes ever in 2K history. It is now September 29, 2015. The 3-point era has officially started. A brand new badge called Limitless Range was now added into the game. and this would change 2K forever. Everyone wanted to play like Stephen Curry this year, and what did 2K give us? The ability to play like Stephen Curry. The best build in the game was a 6'7" outside point guard. These dudes were basically small forwards. You could not stop these. You couldn't stop this archetype, man, unless you was just playing fence like that. Outside point guards they were able to get every single badge possible. You can even have posterizer with like a 60 dunk rating, and it'll still get bodies. Like, all you had to do was raise everything but your inside this year. Or you could have substituted that for rebounding. It really didn't matter. But if you would have just rose rebounding instead of inside scoring, you basically a small forward at the point guard position. And if you would have did it the other way around, you would have been a dominant scorer, but you won't get no rebounds. But you're still able to do everything at a high level. Now, 2K16, the ratings were nerfed based on your height, but I believe 6'7" point guards had like a 90 ball control and like an 85 3-point rating, so that was good. I remember my outside point guard being so unguardable and unstoppable. Like, there was nothing you can do to guard my player, man. I wish I would have took YouTube seriously back then, because I was just unstoppable. I made every shot and I was dominating the community. Like, if they had records in this, I probably would have had like a 95 in this, no cap. And this was the beginning of the 3-point era. This game right here changed 2K forever. Limitless range was added, and the rest was history. 2K16 changed everything. It is now September 20th, 2016, one of the craziest years of basketball. Kevin Durant has just joined the Warriors, and Kobe Bryant is now retired. This was also the first official year of Archetypes, as 2K leaned more towards Pro-Am this year for a more competitive feel of the game. Now, every archetype was good in their own way. Shot creators made all their fades, lockdowns get an automatic steal every time. Sharpshooters made every open shot. Stretch bigs were able to grab rebounds and shoot threes at a high rate. But I say the most balanced and most overpowered build has to be a playmaker. Now, playmakers and point forwards in 2K17 could do everything, from get dunk animations to jelly layups to shooting limitless threes. They could do everything. And with the now improved dribbling system, anything was possible with playmakers. So there was no hesitation to make any other player but a playmaker. Like, look at how deep that three was. You can do whatever you want as a playmaker in this game. Playmakers was the most overpowered build in the game. Every comp YouTuber, every comp player on the Xbox or PS4 had a playmaker or a lockdown, but playmakers was the #1 spot on this list. 2K17 was one of the best 2K games in recent years. With great defense and great offense, this was just an overall fun game to play. And with the new archetype system, this will change how we play the game today. On September 15, 2017, 2K dropped almost an abomination of a 2K game. Now, 2K18 was not the greatest 2K. It was one of the worst in recent years, but it was surprisingly kind of fun to play. After the success of 2K17, it seemed almost impossible to ruin such a great game, and 2K did that. And by allowing the worst of people to just make anything they want, like, the game was just bad all around. But anyways, the best archetype in this game was a shot creator playmaker. A shot creator playmaker was so overpowered that they had to nerf the badges for the following year in 2K19. This build was so overpowered at the point guard and the shooting guard position. It didn't matter what height you picked them at. Like, you could put them at 6'1", 6'7", 6'8". It didn't matter. If you had a playmaking shot creator, it was over with. You can't stop them. considering how bad the game was, the blow-bys and all these crazy shots going in. If you thought shot creators were overpowered in 2K17, well, you got another thing coming for 18. And if you thought they were overpowered and even better in 18, what you think the best archetype is for 2K19? It is now September 7th, 2018. After having an abomination of a game the previous year, NBA2K comes back better than ever. Although there's a few bugs and a few glitches in the game, 2K managed to get them out to have a more balanced game from the previous year. There is now a new feature in the game called Takeover, and it's very critical to making your new build. Although every build was good in their own little way, there is a list for the best builds in this game. Now, I'm going to create a top 5 of the best builds in this game, only for this game, because in this game there was a lot of breakout builds. For some honorable mentions, we do have the pure stretches and the shot creating post and shot creating slashers. And now at number 5, we have a post scoring stretch 5. Now, when you make your builds, you got to think about how it's going to be at a 94 overall. And this build gets post scoring and sharpshooting at a 94 overall. So this build is number 5. This build right here was so hard to guard in the park, man. When they get their double takeover, it's lights out and you can't stop it. You can't sag off and you can't play up. There's nothing you can do. At number 4, we have the obvious play sharp. Now, the play sharp could have been at the 1 or 2. I say the 1 is better because you're a point guard and you need your playmaking badges more than anything. You should be worried about passing the ball more than shooting. But the play sharp was overpowered, especially at a 95 overall. When they get both their double takeovers, you basically Stephen Curry 2.0. And it's very, very hard to stop play sharp at they take over at 95 overall. And at number 3, we have the most dominant twos build in the game, a two-way post scorer. A two-way post scorer at 95 overall is the most overpowered thing ever. You can't stop that. They're clamping you up on defense and dominating you on offense. You have the 2 of the most overpowered badges on one. How can you stop this? Look at this, man. It's just impossible. Like, there's nothing you can do to stop a two-way post scorer with their takeover. And at number 2, y'all knew this was coming, the pure lock. A 6'10 pure lock was one of the most dominant builds in the game. We got people shooting like they're a pure sharp with the pure lock. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, pure locks this year are just on a whole nother level of insanity. And from the rumors I've been hearing about 2K20, they're gonna be even better. Do you know how crazy that is? So pure locks may be number 2 or 1 next year, so make sure y'all make a pure lock. And now for number 1. And yes, you guessed it right, a playmaking shot creator. Now, how do you manage to make the most overpowered build from last year even better? 2K19's best archetype is a playmaking shot creator. There's nothing you can do to stop these dudes at 94. You're basically James Harden times a million. Look at that. You get contact dunks, you can break anybody, you can make anything, and you can score in all different types of ways. You have no weakness. I say your weakest thing is probably your defense, and your defense is decent. Like, this build's weaknesses are non-existent. Now, if you agree with this list, make sure you comment down below. If you don't agree with this list, make sure you comment the builds you think is the best from every other 2K or this year's 2K. Now, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you comment, subscribe, and murder that like button for me, man. I'm going to be posting 2K20 all year long for the rest of 2019 and the rest of 2020. Please subscribe, man. I'm 8Ball VJ and I'm out. Peace.